Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I am back with another buy guide video, and today we're talking about the best phones that you can get for a $250 price tag, which can also be understood as the best phones that you can get for 20,000 Indian rupees. As you know, the market is very competitive in this segment, so I have made this list in a descending order based on my experience with these devices. So I hope it is useful for you guys to make a good purchase decision. Anyways, let's get started with the video. Number 6. Samsung Galaxy A50s. If you remember, the Galaxy A50s was initially launched for a high price, but now it goes for 33,000 here in Nepal and under 20,000 in India. And one thing that differentiates it from the rest of the bunch is its design. At a time when phones from Chinese brands are heavy and boxy, Samsung, on the other hand, is making their designs slimmer and more ergonomic with every new launch. And even Sundar from Technology Talk talked about how using the Redmi Note 9 Pro or the Poco X2 for a long duration was subject to pain in the wrists, and I totally agree with him. This signifies how smartphone manufacturers need to focus more on ergonomic designs. Anyway, coming back to the design of the A50s, you get this absolutely stunning looking phone. The plastic back has these really cool looking patterns which make the phone look classy and stylish. Plus, the phone is very ergonomic and feels light on the hands, which further adds to the niceties. What's also nice is the front of the A50s. It's got a pleasing Super AMOLED display, which is one of the best panels you can get for the price. Additionally, the AMOLED display complements the dark theme of the UI very well. So if you are someone who likes the dark mode, you will love what you see on the A50s. Further, the display is home to an in-display fingerprint sensor. The triple cameras on it have very good performance too, which is all thanks to Samsung's excellent optimization. The details, HDR, saturation all have a good balance in normal as well as ultra-wide-angle shots, as evident from these samples here. Also, the portrait images look lively and pleasing with a good amount of background blur and spot-on subject focus. Samsung has also provided the One UI 2.0 based Android 10 last month. Now, I need not tell you how good a skin the One UI is, do I? But what I do need to tell you is that the performance over here is just average. Having said that, it's not downright miserable. But the dated 10nm based Exynos 9611 does not quite match up to the contemporaries like Snapdragon 720G or 730G or the Helio G90T for that matter. For an average user though, it should serve you well. Number 5. Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. The Redmi Note 9 Pro and Redmi Note 9 Pro Max are the two recent additions to Xiaomi's lineup, and both are basically the same phone except for some minor changes here and there. So if you want to save some money, get the Pro version instead. Also, I think maybe Xiaomi could have done a little more differentiation with the specs between the two. For instance, they could have given a Super AMOLED display or a higher refresh rate display to make the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max stand out a little bit. But even so, the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max is one of the good mid-range phones in today's date. It offers some good things to the table, like the latest Snapdragon 720G chipset, which performs very well. A big 5020 mAh battery with 30-watt fast charging support and a refreshing new look. Camera-wise, you get very good performance with the 64-megapixel Samsung GW1 sensor that you get here. The details are on point and colors as well as dynamic range are very well preserved too. Overall, the Note 9 Pro Max is one worthy phone in this list. Number 4. Samsung Galaxy M31. If you are a Samsung fan and the Galaxy A50s or the recently launched Galaxy A51 are a little too high on your budget, then the Galaxy M31 is a great alternative. It is almost the same as the A50s minus the good looks plus a bigger battery. While you get a standard 4000 mAh cell on the A50s, the M31 offers you a humongous 6000 mAh one that can go on and on. However, note that it only has a 15-watt fast charging support, so charging the phone can be a bit of a pain. The design of it is not very appealing either. You get a thick phone with a glossy polycarbonate back that looks rather outdated. So if you want your phone to make a style statement, then the M31 should not be on your radar. But keeping these things aside, you can be assured that you get a good camera setup on the M31. Well, Samsung never fails to make a mark with their cameras. In some instances, these cameras overwhelm the capabilities of A50s and many others in this list. There's a quad camera setup here tucked inside a square module, all of which have impressive performance except for the macro lens, which is just average. However, in regards to performance, you have the same old Samsung saga of average chipsets powering their phones. It is powered by the same Exynos 9611 that's there on the M31, A50s and countless other Galaxy devices. Although I am not saying that its performance is bad, but when you compare it to the likes of Helio G90T or the Snapdragon 720G, you are certainly getting a strictly average performance. On the brighter side though, you get the One UI 2.0 here, which you guys know how much I prefer over the others. In conclusion, even though the performance on the M31 is not its strongest suits, the phone is a unique and an all-rounder offering, which is why it has made it to this list. Number 3. Realme X2. Realme has brought out a lot of good mid-range phones since last year, and one of the most noticeable ones has to be the Realme X2. Powered by the Snapdragon 730G chipset, this phone gives you one of the best performances in this price range. And except for the Samsung phones, this is the only phone that offers an AMOLED display at this price, so that's a major plus for it. Talking about the quality of the display, it's excellent in terms of colors, contrast, and also has acceptable brightness levels. Also, having the AMOLED screen means you get the perks of an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is fast and accurate here. The design of the Realme X2 also looks good to me. Although I would say that I am inclined towards the A50s's more ergonomic and lightweight design, this one has its own thing going on, and I am sure many prefer it too. Plus, the back is protected by Gorilla Glass 5, which makes it more premium than plastic back phones. The quad cameras on it have good performance too. Although the macro and depth sensors are mostly gimmicky than useful, but the other two, the primary and the wide-angle lenses, work very well. And it's worth pointing out that the Realme X2 is one of the best point-to-shoot cameras out there for this price. And one more thing that's good about the X2 is that Realme has generously provided a 30-watt Whoop fast charging support that can fill the 4000 mAh battery in around an hour. Number 2. Poco X2. Okay, now we've reached almost the end of our list, and choosing the first and second positions have been a very tough choice for me. However, there has to be a winner, and evidently it's not the Poco X2. It has secured the second place in this list by a very thin line. I repeat, a thin line of difference. Talking of performance, the Poco X2 is also powered by the Snapdragon 730G chipset, and you can expect it to perform as well as the Realme X2. Similarly, you get a glass design in here that looks quite good. Although the phone is hefty and slightly unergonomic, I found that many people liked it, so I guess it totally depends on your preference. Coming to the front, you are getting a good quality IPS LCD screen with good colors and contrast levels. Yes, it is not an AMOLED panel, but it has a 120Hz refresh rate that gives it an edge. So when it comes to gaming, it will give you a little bit of extra smooth performance than the Realme X2, which is also one of the reasons why it is a step ahead than the Realme X2 on this list. Camera-wise, here you get a quad camera setup like many others in this list. However, Poco uses a much superior Sony IMX686 sensor that offers better details and HDR capacity. However, color optimization looks better on the Realme X2. So if I had to pick one among them, honestly I can't. It's a very tough call. In terms of battery life, the 120Hz screen does devour the battery comparatively faster than the regular 60Hz. However, that is recovered by the big 4500 mAh battery along with 27-watt fast charging support that fills the battery in about 70 minutes. Number 1. Realme 6 Pro. Okay, finally we've reached to the top of our list. In my opinion, the Realme 6 Pro is the best value for money for under $250. However, it is worth mentioning that the choice totally depends upon the user as well. If you are more comfortable with the MIUI, then you should definitely go for the Poco X2. Otherwise, the Realme 6 Pro here is a very good option. But my reasons to give the Realme 6 Pro the top spot is number 1, it has a more versatile camera setup consisting of a telephoto zoom lens, and number 2, the selfies here are much better than the Poco X2. Also, its dual notch cameras come with a more useful ultra-wide-angle selfie camera instead of a depth sensor. The other aspects of the Realme 6 Pro are pretty decent too. You get a good quality IPS panel with 90Hz refresh rate. The Snapdragon 720G in here performs as good as the Poco X2 offers. And battery-wise too, you get a good size 4300 mAh cell that gives excellent endurance, which further is supported by the 30-watt Whoop charging. So there you have it guys, this is our list of the best phones that you can get under $250 or some 20,000 Indian rupees. In Nepal though, you only have the option to get the Realme X2 or the Galaxy A50s because the others have not launched here. On a different note, we're soon coming up with laptop guide videos, so stay tuned for the video. Saying this, I am Pratima and I'll see you in the next one.